computer got a virus?
Yeah, it had I have the program antivirus, the micro trend or whatever, and the virus itself ended up giving me a virus. Like
Oh,
the antivirus gave me a virus. I was a little confused.
defeats the purpose of having
I
one,
know.
right?
I know. I'm
That's
so sorry
terrible.
again.
No,
My
no, you're
sincere
fine. You're
apologies.
fine. Hey, look, it happens all the time. It's like I'll get on with people, and
Mhm.
I want to like, okay, let's go do it, and all of a sudden my computer like crashes, or like the camera won't work or
Yeah.
something, and I'm rushing trying to get it done, and it's a mess. It happens. No big
Oh, of
deal.
course. It's crazy. Technology is a wonderful curse.
How's everything going?
It's going good. Um, just it's been busy. Like I'm getting ready for classes to start up.
Hmm.
I start classes on the 19th. I've had a month off, which is very needed right now with COVID and
Hmm. Yeah, my
just
wife is
classes
in the
being
same
online and
boat.
everything.
Yeah, she's starting school back up in next week. So yeah, it's
Where is she going to school?
we're in Nashville, Tennessee. So
Okay.
she's in nursing. So there's a state school here
Okay.
that she's going to.
Oh,
I-
by the way, Devin, I don't know how to say it, Devin Dinkerson.
Dickerson, yeah.
Yeah, he told me to tell you that we're very good friends and I'm his future wife.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Then I'll have to be nice. I'll have to be nice to you. I saw that you were following each other after I've already talked to you, and I was about to mention it that me and him we worked together, and well, that's how we met, and then we're friends. Now for a while, for a few
Yeah, that's what he
years.
was telling me. I took a screenshot of your DM and sent it to him. I was like, "Is this guy
Yeah,
legit?" He said, "Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
my coworker."
That's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to talk to him about that. So, what do you go to school for?
So I already have my nursing license, so I'm an
Oh,
LPN in
okay.
nursing.
I got you.
But I'm going to school to hopefully get into med school. So I have a major in sports medicine and a minor in business.
I got you. So you're LPN now,
Hmm.
but you want to be essentially a physician, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
want to be
okay,
get that MD.
okay, I got you. So you skip the RN part of it. You're like, I don't want to do
I
that.
mean, an LPN is the exact same thing as an RN experience wise. The only thing difference is the BSN, which is a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing.
Hmm.
And I'm not someone to really do too well under
Hmm.
high stretch situations with authority. I kind of like to take the lead.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't want to go through that much that much student loans and have to deal
Yeah,
with everything and not actually get the full experience, be on top.
yeah, gotcha. So you're doing this, and then this is to apply for like the medical
Hmm.
program.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're essentially doing like prereqs. Is that kind of like how it works?
Um, you have to have a degree of some sort in order to apply
Oh,
to
I
med school,
see.
and it has to be a
I see.
bachelor's.
I
You
see.
can't just go right from high school to med school to apply to med school.
Gotcha. So
So,
it's not like you can take a few courses under your belt and then just go in.
no,
Okay.
you actually have to have that degree.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go sit down at my desk.
No, no, go
I
ahead.
was in my bed for a charger.
No, no worries. You're good. So,
But yeah, you actually have to have the degree.
gotcha. And why so you want to get into sports medicine? Is that?
No, that's just what I'm concentrating in right now. Right
Mhm.
now, I'm thinking like if I did become a doctor, it'd be orthopedics.
Orthopedic? Why that? What drove you to say that?
I mean, I find the musculoskeletal system fascinating. Like
Mhm.
anatomical kinesiology is completely fascinating to me.
Okay.
Um, I'm more about like the body function, why it functions, and how it does that in the movement aspect, rather
Mhm.
than okay, you have proteins, you have enzymes, yada yada
Mhm.
yada.
Mhm.
Like I'm better at the macro level of anatomy rather than the micro.
Gotcha. So like what would you be like if you envision yourself, like where would you be like working, like what would you be doing, like would you be working with just like recovery with people that are recovering from like accidents or whatnot, or would you be working with athletes, like what would you prefer to do?
I mean, I feel like the target audience could be anybody. I'm thinking more just diagnosing, um,
Hmm.
working with recovery, just giving like support as needed,
Hmm.
just like surgeries if necessary.
Gotcha.
Just kind of so we have this place in Colorado, it's called Orthopedic and Spine Center of the Rockies, where
Hmm.
it's a big organization, but they have individual doctors that specialize in each field.
Hmm.
I'd like to specialize in a field and then work under a corporation to,
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
cool.
mean, just
That's
work with the whole body.
Yeah, that's really cool. Speaking of Colorado, I've never been, but like me and my wife really wanted to like either go to Colorado or Montana. Why are you laughing?
Can you not hear my dog with a squeaky toy?
Oh, yeah.
I'm so, buddy, chill.
That's
I'm so
hilarious.
sorry. I was like,
So
oh no,
that's
oh
like
no.
so that's like the toy that when she or he squeezes it, that's what it does.
He has so many. I see right now just on the floor. Let me see, 3, 4. He has 6 squeaky toys.
That's got to be like a very squeaky house you got there.
Oh,
'Cause-
oh yeah, and he does it in the most pristine time frame too. Like especially when I'm on lectures.
oh, nice, nice.
And
Even
like,
that's
hey, can you
great.
turn your mic off? Your dog's kind of going.
That's funny. Actually, he's in the question that I was gonna ask you. Like, how long have you been in Colorado? And the reason I was gonna ask this because I
Hmm.
saw some of the like videos that you posted with your dog there, and it's beautiful there. And like,
Oh,
I
thank
know
you.
I know it's beautiful there, but like but I've never been. So I was
Hmm.
curious, were you like born there or?
Yeah, I'm actually born and raised Colorado local. I love it here. Want to spend my whole life here.
Gotcha.
Actually, I take that back. I don't want to spend my whole life here. I would love to move to Montana, but I'm really happy being in Colorado.
Yeah, that's the other place. It's like Colorado, Montana is like where my wife like would love to like move to. So just
Hmm.
the scenery and everything like that. So at
Yeah,
least from what
Montana's
we've
definitely a
heard,
place.
yeah.
It's gorgeous. I mean, Montana's a lot cheaper than Colorado. Colorado's so expensive.
Really, I'm
So
surprised.
expensive. So
Is
expensive. It's
is
like,
it like bigger cities there or is
yeah,
it
well,
spread
I
out?
mean, if you think about it, it has 2 massive state schools in it. Like you have CU Boulder and you
I
have
see.
CSU.
Hmm.
And then you have a bunch of other like D2, D3 schools. And
Right,
so right there you get a huge amount of state funding, but also it's a lot more expensive because it is a college state.
right. Everybody wants to be
Everyone
there,
wants to be
and
in
so
Colorado because it's
yeah,
nature, it's beautiful and everything.
gotcha.
Lots of organizations are from here. Like Otterbox actually originated um, in a town that's 20 minutes away from me.
Oh, didn't know
And
that, huh?
it's
That's
huge.
cool.
It's crazy now.
Yeah,
Like it's a huge brewery place too, like New Belgium. Um, oh goodness, there's a bunch for Loco. There's a bunch of beer companies that started here too.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah, it's just expensive. It's very
Yeah,
expensive. It's also
yeah.
a lot of people from California are shifting over here.
Yeah, you can ask Devin, but like Nashville is getting like super expensive too. And I'm
Yeah.
really I'm saying getting it's more than getting. It's gotten
Hmm.
there. It's been there. It's just every year it's like it's worse and worse. So, uh, I mean, it's not much you can do about it,
Yeah.
but you just have to deal with it.
Hmm.
So, so how did you get into like training, fitness, and all that?
Oh dear. So I've actually been an athlete my entire life.
Mm,
I've been doing some sport pretty much since I came out of the womb. Um, it's I've pretty much tried it all except for ball sports. My
mhm.
hand-eye coordination is below subpar.
Oh yeah, well
Um,
that's probably not good if you're like involved in sports that involve a ball.
yeah, I mean, I've done all pretty much most of the others that don't.
Hmm.
Um, but when I get hit high school, when I was 15, yeah, 14, 15, that's actually when they started incorporating the weight room in with sports.
Hmm.
So I had nothing to do with the weight room. I was like, okay, whatever. Like my coaches tell me to do this, I'll do it, whatever. But I actually didn't start solely dedicating lifting until I was about 18. When I
Okay.
was 18, I was like, okay, well, I really am not happy with the way I look. I'm not happy with the way I feel. At the time, I just got out of like a long-term relationship, a 3.5 year relationship, and the guy
Hmm.
ended up cheating on me. Changed my whole life for
I'm
him.
sorry to hear
The
that.
reason I went to CSU was because of him.
Hmm.
So I would have been out of Colorado already, but at that point it was too late.
Yeah.
So I just the only way I knew how to cope with it was to do something I was comfortable with, and that's sports.
Hmm.
And since I didn't necessarily have sports since it was summer, and I was getting ready to transfer to college sports, I was like, okay, well, what's something else I know? Weights. I solely dedicated all my feelings, all my emotions to the weight room.
Hmm.
Channeled all my insecurities, all the sadness and the hate that I had to the weight room, and
That's
pretty
intense.
much this is literally how I felt.
Hmm.
It's like either I'm gonna sit in my room and I'm gonna be depressed and just stuck in my head all day, or I can do something about it.
Right.
I can
Right.
grow from this. I can make myself better. And so, as soon as I went to the weight room, I went there every day. It
Hmm.
was pretty life changing. My body just adapted so positively to it.
Mhm.
And I actually never wanted to do bodybuilding, not even once.
Mhm.
But when I was in the weight room, I was at 24 Hour Fitness. My coach was this guy. I've never met him before. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know
Mhm.
anything about bodybuilding.
Right.
He was just staring at me in the most creepy way possible. He was,
That's uh,
his eyes were
that's not a good
locked.
idea. Like, by the way,
No,
not
well,
advising anybody to stare at girls in the gym like that.
no. Well, what I
Um,
did is I actually walked by him
mhm.
and I said, "Listen, you're not gonna get my number. You're not gonna get my Snapchat. We're not gonna go on a date." I was like, "What do you want?
Mhm.
What do you want? Like, we can take this outside, catch it outside. How about that?" No, but he was like, "No, you actually probably have one of the best physiques out of someone your age I've ever seen."
Mm.
He's like, "Have you ever considered bodybuilding?" And at this point, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get a sales pitch here, aren't I?"
Mhm.
I was like, "Okay, well, I'm in the middle of my workout. Why don't we meet on the chairs and we could talk about this afterwards?"
Mhm.
So I talked with him and he convinced me to do my first show, which was going to be July 11th of last year. Unfortunately, I was unable to compete in that show because I had to have 3 emergency surgeries on my hand. I
Oh,
had to have
wow.
this hand completely reconstructed. Um,
So, I mean, I was gonna, well,
but
I guess let's stop there. Like, what happened with the hand?
well, I in October of 2019, I just fell. Like I was doing box jumps and I hit a new max and I was super excited and I was dancing on the boxes and I just fell back, did ulnar flexion fall, just fell on my hand, and I didn't know it, but I broke my radius, my scaphoid, and my lunate.
And
So for
you didn't realize that you broke all those?
well, it hurt, but I mean, I was
But
like,
you didn't
okay,
know
well,
that it was like that severe.
yeah, I
Mhm.
didn't know it was that severe. So I lifted for 9 months with a broken hand. I was in
Oh.
prep with a broken hand. And then by the time I was 5 weeks out from my show, like I woke up and like my hand was legitimately stuck like this.
Oh, wow.
Like
I
my
mean,
hand would not work.
that's crazy. So I wonder if like just you training on it has made it like
It
that much
it could
worse.
have made it worse. I mean, it was already the damage was already done, and
Mhm.
anything I did on top of that was just going to make it worse. But
Mhm.
by the time I went to the doctor, I had osteonecrosis, so all the bone died in my hand.
Phew.
And so that following few days, I had emergency surgery, had to stop the show. Then 24 hours later, had to stop. He's barking at the mailman. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Uh,
And then I had 24 hours later, I had to have a
mhm.
second emergency surgery because I developed an autoimmune disease and my body actually rejected the bone they took from my femur to put in my hand.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was out for a while. And then in October of this last year, so October 2020, I actually had my third and final surgery. And that's because the hardware, because I had metal plates and screws in there,
Mhm.
was coming out of the bone and actually started to tear up my tissues and ligaments. So,
Mm.
I mean, I don't scar too easily, but I have a pretty
Yeah.
nasty scar here.
Yeah, I see
And
that.
yeah,
That's the three
so
surgeries for, one piece of damage. That's tough to have to go like back over and over again. Like,
mhm.
how are you feeling during that time? Every time they tell you, oh, now you got autoimmune disease. Now you got to go back for this. Or did they tell you that like, you know, offhand, like after your second surgery, they tell you you're gonna have to have a third, or was it a
They didn't.
surprise? Okay.
These are just every checkup. So, I
Mhm.
mean, the following morning after my first surgery, I just spiked a fever. I just felt like terrible. Like I lost all the
Mhm.
color of my face and everything. So my mom took me to the hospital and they're like, okay, we're doing this right now.
Mhm.
So then when I was doing checkups, they're like, okay, well, this screw is getting pretty close. This screw's really close. Oh, your screw's out of the bone. We're gonna have to take care of that.
Yeah,
So,
that's
I
terrible.
mean, it was honestly like it couldn't have happened in a better time because it was during COVID. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I
Mhm.
was already doing home workouts at the time. So why not have the necessary surgery on top of that?
Right,
It's
right.
not like I'm really missing out on too much.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing about like COVID. It's like shuts so many things down and it gives a lot of like free time, so to speak, for a lot of
Hmm.
people. So I was watching this thing on, you probably don't know who it is, but so this guy named Tim Silva, he was a UFC heavyweight champion many years ago, and he broke his arm. Somebody armbarred him, broke his arm in this area right here, and forgive me for my lack of medical terminology,
So
but
your radius
yeah,
follows your thumb. Ulna is the other side.
one of those. I don't know. Anyways, it was right. It was in this area, and so when the guy broke it, like eventually he had to have surgery. He had plates and screws and
Hmm.
everything, and over the years, the screws are actually backing out of the like. So then
Yeah.
he was showing it on his Instagram and how it was like just like literally coming apart, like as a like I don't know, like just like a piece of machinery. It's just
Yeah.
it was
That's
crazy.
that's similar to my situation as
Yeah,
well. It just
yeah.
works its way out.
Hmm. Did they say that would it like happen again? Like, are they going to have to just keep doing checkups on it, or are they pretty
Well,
sure it's going to stay like that?
I mean, I have my I have my final appointment in March, but so far everything is looking great.
Okay, good,
Um,
great.
Everything is going as planned. I am Aries. I'm sorry, but not right now.
Uh,
Everything's sorry. The bone is coming back from my femur
mhm,
and on my hand too. It's growing. The hardware is in place from what we can tell right now. The only
mhm.
thing I could really do is hurt myself again. Just do another ulnar flexion fall and
Yeah, yeah.
mess things up.
Don't do that again. Yeah, for sure.
I can't make
Uh,
any promises, but I'll
yeah.
try.
Well, try not to dance on boxes. That might
I
help.
actually haven't done a box jump since.
Yeah, it's probably for the best until you're 100% cleared. Um, man, what was I going to ask you? Oh, so the autoimmune disease, that's what I was going to ask you about. So it's crazy that you developed an autoimmune disease from your own, like from your own bone. And
Yeah, my body just didn't recognize itself. And it just attacked itself, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's a foreign body. We got to get
yeah,
it. This isn't normal.
I thought that was so strange. So is that something that like that's done? It was like an acute situation, or are you going to be dealing with something down the
It
road?
was just like, okay, we got to take this bone out. It was like a one and
Gotcha.
done situation. Like we got the
Gotcha.
bone out, we just put hardware in, we're okay now.
Mhm. Gotcha.
The only
So,
thing we can really think about with that is because the bones I broke in my hand, the scaphoid and the lunate in the hand, they actually have really poor blood supply. Really
mm,
poor blood supply. The femur has a great blood supply because it is the longest and the strongest bone in the body. So there probably were capillaries that were left over. And so
mhm,
the blood kind of like seeped out a little bit.
mhm.
And there's like some bone marrow or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and my body's like, no, this isn't normal. Too much blood or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It just attacked it.
yeah, yeah, for some reason or other. So, before I interrupted you so rudely about your hand,
I know you're good. You're good.
you were talking about, so this guy comes up to you, tells you,
Oh yeah.
that you've got this kind of physique that he, is obviously appreciating. So, and then, what happens then?
Well, I sat down with him and he talked and he was like, okay, well, you know what? I will actually like train you. Like
Mm,
I want to help you. I'm challenging you to do this. And I'm not one to turn down challenges or opportunities. I mean, that's why I'm here with you.
yeah.
I'm so
Apparently, he
sorry. He's
agrees.
being so naughty. He's being so naughty.
Maybe he doesn't like that your attention is taken away from
Yeah,
him.
it's divided.
Yeah,
He's like, Mom, no, no. But
that's funny.
what was I saying? Yeah. So I was like, well, you know what? I'll do one show. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see how I like this and everything. And I've fallen in love with bodybuilding. I don't know if I love competing yet. I'm in prep right now,
You are
15
in
weeks
prep.
out. Yeah, I'm in prep right now, 15 weeks out from the Denver Open, which is going to be April 24th.
Okay.
But I
So
fell in love with it.
what division do you compete in?
I do H class figure.
So meaning like
Oh,
what
like NPC.
NPC what like figure?
Yeah, figure.
Figure. Okay. Okay. So and what made you decide that that was a division that you wanted to be in, like figure, instead of bikini or instead of like women's physique or something
Well,
like that?
I'm way too broad shouldered for bikini. I
Hmm.
don't like. I mean, I didn't pick it. My coach was like, "You're doing figure." I was like, "Okay,
I got
whatever."
you. So he saw your
Um,
structure and was like,
yeah,
you're good for
he
figure."
decided it for me.
Gotcha.
I don't want to do physique because I'm 100% natural and I plan on
Hmm.
staying that for either ever or quite some time until at least after I have a family.
Sure. Sure.
That we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But
Right. 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 No, that's
um,
understandable.
bikini, I mean, I don't think it's a fit for me. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
too, I would say, glamorous, a little too, okay, Stairmaster for an hour and a half and lift some
Mm-hmm.
5-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, not your
I mean,
style.
I like it a little nittier and grittier. Like, personally, I think competing is still a little narcissistic and a little too blingy and flashy. Like, I'm someone who just wears leggings and sweatshirt all day. Half my clothes
Uh-huh.
are men's clothes. I'm a big
Gotcha.
tomboy, but I promised him that I've go through with this, and I want to go through with this because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I failed on my first prep.
Mm-hmm. So,
But we'll see.
how many competitions have you done?
This will be my
Zero.
first.
So that
This will
so
be my
that
first.
was so the one that you had that you
Was
couldn't.
canceled.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, my hand was completely done.
Right.
I
Right. Right.
was flat. I was awful from surgery. I was a wreck. There's no
Yeah.
way I
Yeah.
could have gotten on stage like that.
No, no, of course not. That's so you were prepping and you were that close, and then the
I
thing
was
that
5 weeks out.
yeah, that's terrible. That sucks so much.
Hmm.
Mm. Yeah. So now you're what, 15? You said weeks out.
15 weeks out.
So we're gonna try to get you there.
I hope so.
Like,
I think I'm looking better than what I do. I just don't look at my weigh-ins.
mm-hmm,
I don't, because I just get so lost in my head. Like, that's the thing about bodybuilding that people don't talk about is you are not, it's not about competing against others. It's about competing with yourself
mm-hmm.
in a
In
way. Because,
what
well,
sense?
I mean, yeah, you are going against competitors, everything. You're flexing and you're flexing, you're posing, you're bringing your best
Mm-hmm.
package to the stage, but nobody talks about how it messes with your mental, like not being able to eat, staying at the gym for hours at a day, seeing yourself looking good some days, looking bad most days. Because in prep, your body's just
Mm-hmm.
it's fat, it's flat, it gets some volume, then it gets volume taken away. It's all over the place. So the only thing you
Yeah.
can do is trust the process and be consistent. And either way, you're slowly and slowly getting flatter and flatter, and you look worse and worse. But then as
Mm-hmm.
soon as you get carbs or you get right there to start compete, that's when you actually start to look good. And they
Yeah.
don't talk about that time from when you start prep to when you're a week out from stage, no matter how long that is. Just how, not necessarily you hate yourself, but how your confidence and just how your mental state just slowly will just goes down so fast.
Sure. And you attribute that to the fact that you're like you're not seeing like the things that you would expect to see. Like
I
you're
mean,
dieting, you're training, but your body is not showing you what you would think it would show you compared to how bad you feel like like from
yeah,
dieting and
yeah.
all that.
I mean, I think this definitely varies person by person. But for with my first prep, what I felt is, excuse me, I just had a hiccup.
No, it's fine.
I just wasn't confident.
Hmm.
I didn't feel great. I was exhausted. Like, I wanted something that wasn't on my plan. I wanted to cheat. Did I cheat?
Hmm.
No. So it just made me feel worse because you're having the same thing as many times as you eat a day, but the portions are getting smaller and smaller.
What are you
Occasionally
eating?
you go, oh, I eat everything. Like, I wake up, I eat beef. I have a lot of protein. I wake up, I eat beef, then I have chicken, then I have turkey, then I have chicken again, then
Hmm.
I have turkey, then I have cod, then I have turkey again. But I mean, the carbs are usually yams and jasmine rice, and I have
Hmm.
spinach or asparagus. Occasionally, if I'm looking extra flat, my coach will give me an English muffin or a bagel. But I mean, I get peanut butter. Like, I have my peanut butter right here. So,
Are you gonna eat the whole
you
jar?
know what? I was actually eating it while I was getting my virus taken care of.
There you go.
I was just eating by the spoonful.
Oh man, I don't. Is that on the plan?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
then if
no, it
it's
is
on
on
the
the
plan,
plan.
that's good. That's good.
Peanut butter is
Does
good.
he
It's a
does he
good
give
fat.
you portions or no?
Yeah, we weigh it out by ounces or grams,
Gotcha. Gotcha. So
so it's not like one handful.
how many meals do you eat a day? Like five or so?
I 6 to 7.
Six or seven? Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of meals.
I eat almost as much as my boyfriend, who's a linebacker.
Yeah. So that's a lot of meals. That's what I was saying. I don't,
Yeah.
I'm about 260 and I don't
Hmm.
need 6, 7 meals a day, but you must
Hmm.
have a fairly high metabolism.
I have a very high metabolism because when I'm in my off season, I'm close to eating 5,000 calories a
Yeah, yeah, there's no way. If I eat 5,000
day.
calories a day, I'm gonna be like Shaq, not his height, just his waist. Like that's my height will stay the same, but like my waist would just expand to his size.
Who
So
knows? You could turn out like Big Ramy.
maybe, I don't
But those
know.
folds, but I mean, the folds won't be muscles; they'll be folds.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I would
Yeah.
have like if maybe if there was like a shadow of me, I might look somewhat
Ooh,
like
ooh, lighting is everything.
that's it. What do you think about that? Like, did you keep up with like the Olympia this year? Did you watch it?
I watched a little bit of it. I mean, I was just watching here and there. I wasn't watching it consistently.
Gotcha.
Um, I was I
Are
was
you
in school. I was studying. I was also working out. I must have just kept up with it on my phone. I think it was good. Most of the people I wanted to win won. I was really happy seeing some of the packages that people brought. I feel like this is definitely probably one of the hardest Olympias we've seen, especially with Phil Heath. He's had like 6 stomach surgeries, and even though he looked bloated, like he had 6 stomach surgeries, and he brought it
yeah.
to the stage. Like that takes a different kind of an animal to do that.
Yeah, you know, he did. I mean, obviously, like these are like elite level
He's
competitors, you
also
know.
like
So
40. He's
yeah,
older.
yeah,
He's an older guy, and he's still working his butt off.
he is older. But people, when he came in, though, everyone expected him to take the show, and the fact that he got third, it kind of, I think it lets people know that, um, I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you think he's gonna like? Do you think he's gonna come back and win it, or even be competing for the number one spot anymore? Or you think his time has passed? Which is,
Um,
you know, everybody's time has to come, you know, at some point. But
was me eating my apple ASMR? I just don't know
no,
because I
no,
have
you're
my
fine.
AirPods in.
Look,
Okay, just good.
you can do whatever you want. It's your show. It's your show as much as mine.
Hey, I'm just making sure I don't want to make it weird. But
No, you're fine.
I mean, the thing about him is he is older. He's gone through a lot. He
Hmm.
can bring a better package. I agree. Everyone can bring a better package, but he has to understand that the people he's going to be competing with are going to have a better package in some situations. They're younger. They haven't gone through the surgical trauma that he has.
Hmm.
He has the experience, which is top notch, and he has the knowledge. But I mean, there's new sciences, new ways of bodybuilding, and everything that he might just be sticking to his classic ways. Who knows, though?
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot of factors. I don't. I
I have
think
a
it
hard
should
time
it would be good
seeing
for him.
him. I have a hard time seeing him compete for it in the first place with Big Ramy coming in the way he did, and if he continues to come in that way, I don't see. First of all, I don't really see too many people beating him. Period, and then a lot of questions were answered for Brandon Curry because
Mhm.
people thought, well, Brandon won last year because there was nobody there. Well, this
Mhm.
year everybody was there, and the only person that beat him was Big Ramy. He beat Phil Heath. He beat everybody else. So, you know, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. So
Someone has. I mean, Big Ramy has some. Is a Chad quad god. Like the those legs. I think
they're almost like I
they're
almost feel
thicker
like
than me
yes, I almost feel like they're I don't know.
because my waist is 24 inches. Though his legs are like at least 48.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, but I don't know. Maybe because I'm turning into more of an aesthetic person as opposed to like
Hmm.
a mass monster person. Like I was when I was younger. I was oh yeah, I want to see the mass monster. But they almost seem like too big. Like they're almost like when you look at them, they're like they're really big. They almost overpower his upper body a little bit. You know?
Yeah. Are you familiar with challah bread?
No.
I gotta pull up a picture for you. This is what I compare all those absolutely massive bodybuilders to.
And mind you, he's the massive of the most massivist. So like, so
Oh, he's
even those other guys that we say that we're like, oh, they're not as massive.
okay.
If they were in person, they would be huge. You know?
Okay, so this is challah bread. This is what I compare the really massive bodybuilders to.
Oh, like it's real bread. Like that's
Yeah, it's actually bread. Like it's like they're lumpy and glazed and crispy with a little bit of salt on it.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially it right there. You pretty much
Hmm.
put it. You put that instead of Ramy on a picture, nobody would know the difference.
Resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah, that's unreal. Yeah. So yeah, it's a whole new ball game now with Ramy coming in. You know, and they give him a special
Mhm.
invite too. So if they don't give him a special invite, he doesn't win the Olympia. So everything kind of lined up just right for
Mhm.
him.
Yeah, the stars totally aligned, and he worked his butt off. He
For
he
sure.
worked really, really hard. So
Yeah.
I definitely think he deserved that title, but it was a
Yeah.
tough competition.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how Flex Lewis does, because he didn't make it this year,
Mhm.
because I think he had an injury. That's what it
Mhm, he
was.
did.
So I'm
I'm just
interested to see
excited to
how it
see,
goes.
Callum von Moger go to Olympia.
Yeah, but
Oh my
he,
gosh.
he didn't do that great though. He didn't do that. Like he didn't
Well,
look that great in when he won his
no.
pro card. Um,
No, but he's looking better now. He also
yeah.
had a really bad injury towards his pec
Okay.
and his bicep.
Well,
And I
that's
think
a
he broke
lot.
his foot too. He went through a lot, but that man,
I like his
he's
look.
gorgeous. He's
I like his
gorgeous.
look. Yeah, and he favors Arnold extremely, like almost. I mean, almost identical. That's why they had him playing that movie. I don't know if you remember, but he played Arnold in some movie they did about Arnold just a while back. But
Really? Did they
yeah,
really?
yeah. I got.
I might have to
I'll.
take a look at that because
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
he's beautiful.
Good to know.
I actually sent him a DM, but he never responded.
Yeah, well, he's got. I'm sure he's got a lot of DMs
He
he's
has a
got
bunch of
to
fangirls.
scroll through. Yeah, and fanboys. I'm sure.
Oh dang.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
next year.
there's a lot. Well, win your pro card, then you'll be maybe on his radar. But then Devin would get jealous. So
I don't. The thing about going pro is I don't care if I go pro. I honestly could care less.
no,
I want to experience it. I want to love it. I want to love myself. I want to be happy with what I'm doing. Because I mean, a pro card is just a little piece of paper that you have to spend $400 a year for
sure, yeah,
to keep your pro
which
card.
is
Like,
also ridiculous. But yeah,
yeah, you're spending so much money for a suit. Like my suit was cheap and it was $418. Like suits for big gear go anywhere between
yeah,
200 to 2 grand.
yeah,
And I mean, I don't want to spend that much money, especially being in college on a new suit.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy to eat the way I do and still be in college too, because I'm eating during classes. I'm bringing my meals with me in my backpack. Um,
So let me ask you this: Do you get like weird like vibes from other students, or do you have other students that are like you that train and kind of eat the way you do?
well, I have yet to meet a female bodybuilder on my campus.
Really?
Um,
I would have thought you would with with fitness being so popular nowadays, but that's
yeah, I have
strange.
yet to meet a female bodybuilder. I mean, there's ones that claim they are,
Oh,
but if the wind blew too fat, like too hard, they would snap.
right, right. Yeah.
Um, I mean, they work their butts off, and I give them that. Um,
They're just smaller.
but I mean, I don't really pay attention when I'm in the gym anyway. I'm in my zone. Like I have
Hmm.
my creatine, my beta alanine thrown through my veins, and I'm just loaded and locked in. I
Yeah.
have a really supportive group of guy friends. I mean, I would say the majority of people around me,
Hmm.
support wise, are my male friends.
Yeah.
Um, because I would say I definitely get the biggest judgment from females.
Mm.
But I mean, I do have some females who reach out and ask questions. I have females who, I mean, the majority will just kind of look at me like, "Are you actually a woman?" Say, yes, yes, I'm a woman. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of female support, a huge female
Hmm.
support system, especially not on campus.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
unfortunate.
have good people.
That's unfortunate
I mean, the
as
thing
far
about
as
women,
yeah.
yeah, with women, I find is they think that lifting is gonna make them big. Cupcakes make you big, not
Yeah.
lifting. It's how you lift, how you diet, how you train, how consistent you are.
Right. Right.
Health is one thing, bodybuilding is on a complete different, like, in a different planet.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can pursue that planet if you want, but you don't have to. Um, but I find with women, they just being like on social media, they are just so keen to be fitting with the trends. And I would say being muscular has never really been a trend.
Right.
Being skinny with the big boobs, the big butt, that's a
Hmm.
trend. But I mean, big biceps aren't really a trend, and they never really will be. I don't think. Um,
Well, if you think about it, like I mean, I think statistically, and I'm not, I'm not a scientist by any means. Yeah, sometimes I pretend to be one, but
you can
um,
be a scientist.
yeah, today I am. And so, so like if we're about what people that are just in general involved in fitness, like go to the gym, are probably just a couple of percent of the population. If you really think about it, like out of 50 people, 100 people, maybe like you might find one that actually like goes to the gym and really works out, not just like hangs out at the gym, right?
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
so and then out of those, the ones that really are involved in like bodybuilding, what we would consider that lifestyle, that's even less. So
Hmm.
and then out of those, you got to think about women like that are out of that, because there's probably less women than men, I would imagine.
There
So
are less women than
yes, so
less women than men in the industry. Women are
right.
actually fairly new into the industry.
There you go. So you got to think that's a small number. So it doesn't. I
Hmm.
guess it doesn't. When I think about it that way, it doesn't surprise me that you don't
Hmm.
encounter a lot of bodybuilders.
Excuse
So
me.
you got that peanut butter in you, right?
I choked on my apple.
Oh, there you go. See,
We're good though. We're good.
apples don't keep the doctor away. Apparently,
I was legitimately just about to say that. I was
great
just about to say the
minds.
apple day
Yeah,
does not keep the doctor away.
great minds. Yeah. So you have no interest in necessarily getting a pro card.
If I get a pro card, that'd be awesome. It'd be great, but I'm not going to actively pursue a pro card,
Mhm.
especially where I am in life right now. Like if I had a full time job, I was doing whatever I love to do. If I was completely settled down financially, physically, like I was in a, I would say a solid place in life. Because right now I do have a lot of plasticity. I
Right.
can change my majors. I can go to a different university, whatever. If I'm pretty
Mhm.
solid in life, maybe I'd consider it because I'd have such a constant routine. But right now I'm
Right.
like, okay, is my class going to be online today? I'm going to have to drive to campus. When am I going to be able to eat?
Yeah.
When can I
Yeah.
fit in the gym? How much homework do I have?
Right. And
It's
then you got
just
to think about what's most important, right? Is it like
exactly.
right now with your schooling, that's what, no, it takes number one priority.
Hmm.
So so you're 15 weeks out, and what show did you say you were doing? If you need to finish chewing
It's
it,
called the Denver Open.
the Denver
The
Open. Okay.
Denver Open.
Do you have a date for that?
April
What
24th.
April 24th. Okay. So it's coming up here pretty soon.
It is. I'm actually turning 21 March 18th. So on my
Okay.
21st, I won't be able to drink
Yeah, no, you gotta
because of prep. Yeah.
yeah,
So, oh
can't drink
dang.
on prep.
No,
But
you
you
can't drink
but
on prep. You can't really do anything on prep.
yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, some people can't take it. I mean, I don't, I guess the worst I do is take
Mhm.
down a massive burrito, and that's not even that bad.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. So April 24th, and then like ostensibly, if you like, let's say you win that, like, do you have any ideas of what you want to do after that?
So there's two classes.
Hmm.
So there's novice, which is like the beginners, and there's open. So I'll be competing in both novice as well as the open. Um, I don't know exactly how big this show is. If this is a
Hmm.
bigger show, if I get first or second in the open, I will win an IFBB pro card.
Oh, so this is a pro qualifier.
It might be. I don't know. I honestly
Okay,
don't know if this is a
okay,
pro qualifying show.
we got to
I
look
don't
that
think it
up
is.
later. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it is. But I mean, if the show goes great, if I'm really happy with it, if I feel great during the prep, I will start reverse dieting, take some time off, then I'll get ready for maybe another show.
Hmm. You can go to
But I,
nationals. You can go to nationals at some point.
I don't think I'm good enough to go to nationals. I definitely don't think so. I would definitely be the youngest one there. I'd be the only natural one there
I was
for
just
sure.
I was just about to say that. I was like, you're definitely like gonna be the only natural person if you go to nationals.
Yeah, so I would
There's
probably
no such thing.
I'd look like a giraffe sitting next to an elephant.
It's there's no chance that there's anybody else that's natural at
I mean,
nationals.
there is a natural league. It's just very small and not popular at all.
And I'm to be honest with you, I don't even know. Like they, what is natural at a certain point? Like I guess like my question would be like if they're saying that they're natural, like the natural leak, and they know what people are being tested for, are they just not taking those substances that are they're being tested for? Or, do you know what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say? Like,
Mhm.
and they're taking
Yeah,
other
but there's
stuff, like,
also yeah, but also if you do take oral forms of steroids, they have such a short half-life.
right.
So in 2 weeks, they're out of your system.
Exactly.
So if you know when
Exactly.
your test date is, you just have to time that out.
Right. And you look,
Because then again, there really is no true natural
right.
natural.
I mean, you have professional athletes that are doing that, and they've got like USADA,
Oh,
and they're beating them. So, I mean, Lance Armstrong didn't pop for EPO, I believe, ever, and he's been tested over and over and over and over and over again until his buddies decided to like rat him out because they didn't. They had like some kind of falling out or whatever.
mhm,
But so I was thinking these tests can be beaten very easily, but
mhm. But the thing about steroids is they're not bad. Well, I mean, they're not the best for your health. I mean, but if taken correctly, being monitored correctly, if your blood is in line, they're not bad for you.
right.
You can't be so demeaning on someone's choices of their own. You
Sure.
can't just take steroids, sit on the couch, eat potato chips, and blow up. No,
Sure.
you have to put in that crazy amount of work. You have to be consistent. You have to be thorough. You have to get your meals in, your cardio, whatever.
Right.
You have to put in the exact same amount of effort to,
Yeah.
or sometimes even more, a little bit more, which is like keeping up with uh, your blood and everything to get the aesthetic you want.
Yeah.
So
It's the same.
I just find it unfair for people to be so demeaning on people who choose to do
Yeah.
steroids because ultimately it's their choice and they should not have an opinion on what they choose to their bodies.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if you think about it, I completely agree with you. And I do think it's unfair. And I also think it's generally like the same people that think you can just take a pill and sit at home and do nothing are the same people that think that by you lifting weights, you're gonna look like a man. I mean, it's the same people. They just have
Mhm.
they're
And that's
they're just ignorant is what it is,
yeah,
really.
and that's where I say, honey, your fit tea isn't going to make you skinny.
Right, exactly.
Like
Uh, yeah, that's true.
that's all I say is like your fit tea is not going to make you skinny.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, the humans in general have one thing in common, and we are inherently lazy.
Absolutely.
And that is either with activity, accessibility, um, time, effort, anything.
Hmm.
Like we're just inherently lazy.
Yeah. I
And
even
it just takes a select few to go above and beyond and actually get to that level where lazy isn't an option. And if you are being lazy, you just kind of feel like crap.
mhm. Yeah, I agree. Like sometimes even I'll be just sitting and I'm like, I don't even want to go to the gym. And this is just one example. I mean, there's many of
Hmm.
these types of examples, but and then I'll think about it. I'm like, that's such a mentally weak and like lazy outlook. And then I'll force myself to go. And then of course I'll feel better,
Hmm.
to go. But that's, I mean, there's always that drive to be lazy. It's there. You have to counteract it. So
Hmm.
I definitely agree with you. But it is silly how like you can legalize all these other drugs, and it's like, but performance enhancing drugs are like somehow inherently evil.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the place too. And
Sure.
the majority of the time they do that because everyone knows drugs are bad. Not everyone
Hmm.
knows steroids are bad. Steroids can be abused just as much as drugs,
Sure.
just as much, if not more. Some drugs can't affect your reproductive system. Steroids will. The thing
Hmm.
about steroids is you need to have like a doctor on file who knows everything you're taking. You
Right.
have to have someone holding you accountable. With drugs, you can just do that free whenever you want to get a quick high or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and might have
that's
a
something
heart
completely
attack.
different. Well, I mean, that's a risk they're willing to take, and like
Yeah.
steroid, you're willing to take any risk for a certain
Sure.
look or
Sure. No.
performance. But
Well, it's all stuff that's that you're taking exogenously, right? Like, so it's like it's
mhm,
stuff that, I mean, I guess you could say like, oh well, hormones are created by our body, but you're taking it exogenously and you're adding more than what you would normally
mhm.
have. So
But I mean, you can take something like creatine, for example, and say the exact same thing. Creatine isn't
sure.
illegal, but is not FDA approved.
Right. Because
Um,
the supplements aren't FDA approved.
Yeah, but
correct?
our body naturally
Hmm.
produces about 2.5 grams of creatine.
Hmm.
Normal diet creates about, I would say, probably 1 to 2. Your
Hmm.
body can metabolize 5 grams, 5 to 7 grams of creatine a day. So why not take a supplement and get that full potential?
Yeah, yeah,
Creatine, it's a relatively harmless supplement anyway,
sure,
because if you have extra, it's just gonna be excreted through urine. I mean, if you
sure.
take like 100 grams a day for like 30 days, yeah, you can get kidney stones. But I mean, who's gonna be taking 100 grams of creatine?
Right. It's crazy though, like, but I believe, like my personal belief, with all the supplements that we have, the two that are like they're have been shown to be really effective, and you might disagree, but is protein and then creatine. Like, because
Hmm.
I definitely, protein obviously for obvious reasons, right? You're supplementing your protein intake, and then creatine. Like I remember when I was younger and I used to take it to lift, and it significantly made a difference. Now
Hmm.
inflating the water in your muscles and all that, and
Hmm.
so I remember loading water loading, and then all that good stuff. So,
I actually did a crazy research paper this last semester on creatine.
oh
So
really?
creatine actually has more properties than just water retention in the muscles. It also
Mm.
puts water retention around the brain and also helps the healing processes. So creatine has a direct correlation to preventing TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. And
So
someone who takes creatine is less likely to have a severe to permanently damaging concussion or TBI
mhm.
than someone who doesn't.
Where that would be extremely effective? It would be extremely effective in combat sports where they get dehydrated so much to make a weight class. And then if you, of course, I don't think creatine is legal for them to take, but
Hmm.
excuse me, but if they could, I mean, that would definitely protect their brain, because you got to think they're getting dehydrated, they're stepping in the ring or wherever they're stepping into,
Hmm.
and then they're getting bashed in the head, like so.
Yeah, I mean, there probably is a direct correlation with that. I mean, it makes me wonder with football too. I mean, like with
Oh,
CTE,
sure, sure.
like it makes me wonder if CTE is a direct correlation with creatine production. And like if you have
Yeah.
a lower creatine production or intake, if you're more likely to develop CTE.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I would think that you are. Also, of course, the fact that the heart depends on your, I think it also matters on how, like, what kind of damage you're taking too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have a running back who's constantly like a power running back,
Oh yeah,
somebody
for
who's
sure.
like slamming, into as opposed to a more like a finesse type of runner,
Absolutely.
but yeah, yeah, a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot of variables, but by no means is getting hit in the head a good idea, So avoid that also, along
Why
with your
not? You see stars.
along with your box jumps. So
Yeah, no more box jumps.
yeah.
No, no. I mean, yesterday I beat myself up pretty bad. I actually lifted with my one of my best friends, Matt. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, he destroyed my back. Like I'm moving like a 2x4 today. But I hit myself in the face with a dumbbell.
How how does that happen?
I was doing lat pull throughs and my elbows kind of and it just dropped
Oh,
it on
I
my
got
face.
you. I got you. Yeah,
I was like, oh
yeah,
dear, this should not be happening. I was
hopefully.
fine.
Yeah, I've done
I thought it
that.
was funny, but
I've done that once, but it wasn't with the dumbbell. It was like with some kind of pulley. I think I pulled it thinking it was a certain weight, and it
and then
wasn't.
you
I
just
forgot,
go.
and yeah, and clocked myself in the head, and that
I
wasn't
actually hate using
pretty.
cable machines. I hate using cable machines because my hair's gotten caught in them before. It's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. You've got long hair. Yeah,
I
definitely.
actually recently cut off 6 inches. I'm kind of sad
And,
about it.
and still that long. Yeah, so
I
for
used to touch
sure.
my butt and scare me. Like I'd be like walking, like, what the heck is that? Oh,
Yeah,
it's my hair. It's okay. It's okay.
there
I
you
figured
go.
it was time.
Well, just to end this, yeah, I have similar thing with like because my hair is really curly and it falls
Hmm.
down, and sometimes I'll hit my ear, and like I'll think there's like a bug on me or something. Like it freaks me out. But anyways, well, hey, I appreciate. I think we talked for like almost a little over an hour. So, uh,
We started at like 6:12 because of my no 5:12
so
because of my
almost an
virus.
hour. Yeah,
Almost an hour.
yeah. So hey, I appreciate your time, and it was
No, I
awesome.
appreciate you dealing with my stupid virus, me eating my apples and
No, you're good. You're
everything.
good.
It
Hey,
was
that's
super fun.
I wish you well on your prep. Hopefully nothing goes wrong and hopefully you take that first
Knock on
place
wood.
and
I hope so.
we'll go forward from there.
All right. Well,
All
thank you
right.
so much. Hope you stay safe and well during this crazy
Yeah.
time, but really appreciate your time and
All
all
right.
this.
Thank you. Take care. Good night.
Bye bye.